Hello, hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. Let's go. Turbo breaking news. Turbo's at the 0.00083 breakout test, holder growth, and the return of the Turbo Toad token. So, what's going on, Turbo family? Sound the alarms, wake up the toads, check the pond, and make sure nobody sold the lily pad to buy another celebrity meme coin because the king of Turbo has returned. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, bears, bulls, frogs, toads, and shrimps. One person who brought you to absolute top and has been starting at the chart ever since. The BTM is back on Turbo. Today, we're not doing empty hype. We're not putting rocket emojis beside the chart and calling it technical analysis. We're not saying Turbo to $1 tomorrow unless tomorrow has suddenly moved to the year 3825. We're going to examine the current price is actually doing, whether the 3083 represents support, resistance, or simply another trap, what the holders' numbers really show, and why Turbo's AI-created origin still matters, what must happen for a legitimate weekend breakout, and what's the next resistance level. What would you invalidate the bullish setup? Whether the Turbo token community still has enough energy to bring this token back into the larger meme coin conversation. Let's go. Turbo turn up time. Before we begin, hit the like button, share the live stream with one Turbo holder, not 20 people, just one person who has been sitting quietly with a bag of Turbo, waiting for somebody to bring facts, entertainment, and a little common sense back to the community. And as you either enter the live stream, enter in the comments, the king has returned. I want to see who is in here early. I want to see the original Turbo army. I want to see people remember when everybody was talking about the first AI generated meme coin. And I especially want to see the people who never left. So let me know in the comments. Got a couple shorts to play, and then we'll get down to business. So let's see here. Let me start the screen share real quick. Let me see. Why is this? Okay. And we'll go to a couple of shorts. Oh, wait a minute. That's weird. Why would I screen share the same screen? That's the first time that might have happened. Oh, yeah, I did hit the wrong screen. That makes sense. So, yeah, let's see what we can see. What up, 23 Bamble, I guess? Bravo. 23 Bravo. What's going on with you? Welcome to the Turbo Toe community. So, let's go to a couple of shorts. Not a lot of picking with the shorts, so I had to play some of my old shorts, but we'll see. So here's the bullish weekend scenario. Turbo holds above the nearby support region. Volume remains elevated instead of collapsing after one day. And actually, I didn't even look at that. Checking out the volume. So volume is kind of moving up on the 4-hour chart. It took a hit and it is bullish. Just got to keep that going. Price reaches above the 308, the 309, a 4-hour candle or daily candle above the breakout zone. Price retest that region and buyers defend it. Bitcoin remains stable The broader meme coin sector continues attracting capital. Under those conditions, Turbo could challenge the 201. If breaks the 201 with strong participation, the move could extend towards the 2010 and the 201, potentially at the 2012. So here's the bullish weekend scenario. Turbo holds above the nearby support region. Volume remains elevated. So here's the final question. Can we bring Turbo back? I think the answer depends on the community. Turbo already has a story. Aurora has added infrastructure. Turbo provides So here's the final question. Can we bring Turbo back? I think the answer depends on the community. Turbo already has a story. Aurora has added infrastructure. Turbo provides. Just looking around here. Turbo already has the story. Aurora added the infrastructure. Turbo gives it a home. Turbo Swap gives it movement. Now the community has to give it life. So here's the final question. Can we bring Turbo back? I think the answer systems. The defined Turbo's Aurora Swap announced focus on cross-chain trading, low fees, liquidity access across multiple ecosystems. The Defiance also reported that Turbo Swap supports cross-chain asset swapping, multiple major crypto assets, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and USDT. That matters because liquidity is oxygen. If people cannot easily move in and out of the ecosystem feels isolated. Think of it as a mall. If the mall has no roads, no parking, no entrances, the only way to get inside is through a secret tunnel behind the bowling alley. Nobody's going, right? Turbo Swap is like saying, let's make it easier for people to enter, swap, exit, and use assets across the Turbo. Turbo's Aurora Swap announced focus on cross-chain trading. Aurora describes the Turbo chain as part of the Turbo ecosystem connected to its Aurora's virtual chain technology. Turbo Chain is designed to give the Turbo community a dedicated blockchain environment, meaning developers, community builders can create applications on the Turbo ecosystem instead of Turbo only existing as a token people trade. Turbo Chain gives Turbo a home base, and that matters because if Turbo wants games, apps, NFT tools, creator tools, tipping systems, payment features, and community rewards, it needs infrastructure where those things can actually live. Think about everyday life. A token by itself is like having a car with no road. Maybe a great car, it might be fast, it might look amazing, but if there's no roads, there's no gas stations, there's no GPS, there's no destinations, what are you going to do, right? What are you doing? You're just going to sit there and look at it? Turbo Chain is part of building the roads. That's how Turbo can eventually move from just buy and hold into community rewards, creator payments, AI generated content marketplace, gaming tokens, meme coins, loyalty programs, digital tipping, and maybe even real world merchant experience. Now, I'm not saying all that exists today. I'm saying infrastructure makes those ideas realistic. Then on to the Turbo Swap. Aurora describes the Turbo chain as part, and that's where Aurora came in. Aurora Labs introduced Turbo Chain and Turbo Swap for the Turbo ecosystem in collaboration with Near Protocol. I remember when the Near Protocol deal was here. If you've been with Turbo for a minute, you remember we were talking about it. We actually talked to the Near team. Talked to Johnny Turbo, and things were going crazy. But for a minute, we had to take a break. I didn't like how some of the leadership changed. So I was just riding the wave. That is important because Turbo's trying to move from funny frog coin to wait. And that's where Aurora came in. Aurora Labs introduced Turbo Chain and Turbo Swap for the Turbo ecosystem in collaboration with Neo Protocol. I remember when the Neo Protocol deal was here. If you've been with Turbo for a minute, you remember we were talking about it. We actually talked to the Neo team, talked to Johnny Turbo, and things were going crazy. But for a minute, we had to take a break. I didn't like how some of the leadership changed. So I was just riding the wave. That is important because Turbo's trying to move from funny frog coin to wait. And that's where Aurora came in. Aurora Labs. All right, guys, enough of memory lane. What up, Tony T? Are you in Turbo? Let's go. Did you snipe the dip? Of course I did, right? Buying the dip on the way down. So this is the crypto bubbles. Looks like Stronghold is up 11.7% on the day to 2040, up 4.9 on the week, down 1.2 on the day. Shout out to Stronghold. Ton token. I swear everything's pumping right when I'm trying to buy some more. So Ton token's up 7.1 on the day to $1.53, down 5.4 on the week, down 6.7 on the month, down 53.8 and unchanged on the hour. Flare's up 5.2, XLM's up 1.8. Canon Network's up 2.2, BGB's up 2.9, Monero is up 4%, Ondo's up 11.4. Let me know if you guys want to add anything else. Safe is up 3.4, FET's up 2%, OKB's up 0.5, Theta's up 1.8, HBAR's up 4.7, Aerodrone's up 6.1, XDC's up 3.3, Nero's up 1.3, XCN's up 0.9, Flux is up 3.9, ICP's up 1.1, Filecoin's up 5.6, Dash is up 1.2, AIXBT's up 2.1, Tao's up 2%, 1.1, Algorand, CVX is up 2%, HBAR is up 4.7, Aerodrome Financial is up 6.1%, Casper's up 1.1, Cubic is up 2.3, Render is up 2.3, and of course our favorite Toad token is up 1.5 on the day, that up 1.3 on the hour. For the week, down 1.8, for the month down 4.7, and for the year 85.3. So let's look at the big boys real quick. Bitcoin's down 1.5 or up 1.5 on the day, up 2.6 on the week, up 3.8 on the month to 66,341. Don't call it a comeback. Ethereum is what happened? Ethereum is up 0.9 on the day, up 0.1 on the hour, up 2.6 on the week, up 11.8 on the month to 1,923. XRP is up $1.14, up 2.7 on the day, down 0.4 on the hour, up 3.6 on the week, up 0.8 on the month, and down 67.7 on the year. And yes, Phantom Ondo's doing something. Did you see yours, Zebek? Did you see yours, Zebek? Ondo is swinging. Yeah, Ondo is up 11% to 39 cents, up 26.5 on the week, up 19.7 on the month. And Zebek is down 1.6 on the day, down 9% on the week, up 3.2 on the hour. Okay. Up 15.4 on the month and down 52.1 on the year to 002. I'd be so glad when Zebek gets past the 002. So I guess the topic is kind of misleading because for some reason, the AI said 67,000 holders. And you can clearly see here it is 57,900. So I don't know where they got the number from or how they got that mixed up, but I did want to point that out. That number is incorrect currently. That's weird. Why don't I have the Turbo is 0.00083 up 1.6 on the day. Market cap 57.5 million up 1.6. 24-hour trading volume 9.24 million up 32.26%. And Turbo Toad community, every step of the journey is built on Turbo. Love, imagination, and the incredible spirit of the community. Together, there is no horizon we can't reach. Shout out to the Turbo Toad token. I guess we can look at the overall crypto market. We're at 2.2 trillion, down 0.8. CNC20 is $134.91, up 0.9%. Fear and greed is right at the edge of fear. Altcoin season at 50 out of 100. Average crypto RSI is 45.56. So let me know what you guys think. Going over to X real quick. On X, this is an update. The community roll call. Enter your price. How long have you held Turbo? What's the next catalyst? What should BTM investigate? So let me know what you guys want to research for Turbo. Let's find out who really danced with us from the beginning. Shout out to Turbo Golden Toad Award presented to ABXXY. It's been a minute since the last award, last count of numbers. So shout out to, hey, that's my hat. He's got my hat on. I like that. That's pretty cool, actually. Wait, is that the hat? Or is that got another Turbo hat somewhere? This is Turbo again. 429 days. Been digging Polish hip hop lately. Polish hip hop. What is Polish hip hop? Have absolutely no idea what they're saying, but somehow it still goes hard. What is Polish hip hop, bro? What are you talking about? A community is not a spam. Dear Nika, Elon, and support. What makes Turbo Toad different? X, it's time to stop restricting members of the Turbo. What? What is this? Turbo. Great things aren't built overnight. They are engineered piece by piece, day by day. Every single step towards forward brings the vision closer. Trying to sleep. My brain's at 3 a.m. Let's plan a business, buy a supercar, or move to Bali. Probably plan a business would be the best option. What up, Peter? What up, fellas? Wars, good, Tony. And yeah, I've seen that ZBEC move. Wallets are going down now. So how is the price going up if the wallets are going down? That's weird. But let me know what you guys think about that. Just checking something else real quick. 1 second. Okay, so to have that. Let me see. So back over to the notes. So just bringing the notes up for Turbo. Why community still matters. Turbo is described as fully decentralized and community driven. That sounds wonderful, but it comes with responsibility. When there is no traditional corporate marketing department controlling the entire narrative, the community becomes the marketing department. The holders become the distribution network. The memes become advertising. The live stream becomes the town hall. So here we are at the town hall. Let me see. Turbo Rage become the outreach campaign. The artists become the digital design team, and the content creators become the new desk. And that will be actually news desk. And that will be incredibly powerful. It also becomes chaotic. A decentralized community can move faster than a company that nobody needs permission to create. But it also spreads incorrect information faster because nobody's responsible for proving the facts. And this is why Turbo new movement needs two ingredients: energy and credibility. Energy without credibility becomes spam. Credibility without energy becomes a research paper nobody reads. BTM is here to combine both. We're going to have fun, we're going to make noise, and we're going to invite people into the community. Take a look at the Turbo chart. Zebek actually look like a Zebek bounce back. Actually, it's down. Oh wow, zero down 1.9 on the day. While it's loading, Turbo has surprised multiple market cycles. It remains actively traded. It's a recognizable AI meme cone story. Looks like it is pulling back up. Tony. It has a recognizable. The salad had a lot of pepper in it. Has a recognizable AI meme original story. It has tens of thousands of visible Ethereum holders. It also has a fully circulating supply. It's nearly fully circulating. It maintains an official community presence and it still generates millions of dollars in daily trading volume. But that isn't enough. That is enough to build content around. We do not need to invent a fake partnership every Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, huh? Current market structure. Now let us look at the charts. Let me bring that token chart up real quick. What was this? Tripping. To look like ZBIG did take a pump on a serious pump on the 2 hour. Hope you guys bought that dip. Might have to do a ZBIG video later today. So on the turbo chart, on the 2 hour, looks like we're building volume. It's bullish. RSI is going up at that's the market cap. Why does this always freaking pull up the market cap? Okay, at the 0.0. So it's still bullish and they're building volume on the 2 hour. Building volume on the 4 hour, and it is bullish. I think people are exiting. We may go lower. Really? We'll have to look at that in a second. Trying to give the turbo guys a minute to run through the turbo. Turbo's trading around the 0.083. This level matters because the token has been consolidating around the lower 308 region. Consolidation means the buyers and sellers are temporarily reaching an agreement. The price is not collapsing, but it is not demonstrating a sustained breakout. And this is where inexperienced traders make a mistake. They see a green candle and announce the breakout is confirmed. No, the green candle is not a breakout. Sometimes green candles simply the market sketched before it goes to sleep. For a credible short-term breakout, I want to see these things. Requirement number one, a decisive move past the 3085. Turbo needs to stop merely touching the upper portion of this range. It must close above it. A wick above resistance is not enough. We need buyers to hold the territory. Requirement number two, rising spot volume. The volume must expand with the price. A price increase on weak volume is suspicious that it can be created by thin liquidity, temporary speculation, or leverage trader chasing the candle. A stronger move would involve volume expanding above its recent baseline. With a current market cap of 57 million, the daily volume is around 9 million, represents a meaningful activity, but the breakout requires that activity continues rather than disappear after one session. Requirement number three, the 308 must remain support. The 3080 area is of psychological importance. Crypto traders love round numbers. Even when the numbers have 4 zeros in front of them, holding above the 3080 tells us buyers and defending the current range. Losing it would weaken the weekend setup. Requirement number four, Bitcoin must cooperate. Turbo might have its own community, but it does not live on another planet. When Bitcoin suddenly sells off, smaller meme coins often get hit harder. A stable or strengthened Bitcoin market gives Turbo more room to move. Requirement number five, no immediate rejection. A healthy breakout should not move above the 3085 and immediate collapse at the below the 3080. That would indicate a failed breakout. Failed breakouts are dangerous because they trap late buyers and create selling pressure. Comment now. Where will Turbo close this weekend? Above the 308, the 308 to 309, above the 309, and above the 201. Do not choose what you hope will happen. Choose what you believe the chart suddenly supports. So the bullish scenario for the weekend, let's see where I'm going to go back up here. Let's build the bullish scenario. This is not a prediction curved in stone. It is not a conditional roadmap. Step one, hold the 3080 to 3082. The first job is defense. Before Turbo can attack resistance, buyers must prevent the price from losing its base. The weekend hold above approximately 308 would show that sellers are not fully controlling the market. Step two, break the 3085. The next test is approximately the 3085. A confirmed move above the zone could attract short-term momentum traders. Those traders may not care about the $69 original story. They care about price structure and volume, and that's okay. Every successful rally brings new, different people together. Long-term community holders, swing traders, momentum traders, meme coin speculators, AI narrative buyers, and social media participants. Step three, challenge the 3090. The 3090 zone is the next psychological hurdle. At this level, traders must purchase lower, may begin to take profits. Turbo must absorb selling pressure A strong move through the 3090 would improve the probability of a test of the 201. Step 4, reclaim the 201. This is a major short-term psychological target. Removing 10 from the current quote structure, even temporarily, will be visibly important. People react emotionally to zeros, and this is why meme coin communities constant talk about deleting a zero. Yes, they're always talking about deleting the zero, but we need more than a wick. A sustained move above the 201 would be more significant than briefly touching it. Step 5, target the 201-2012. Turbo recently demonstrated that the 2012 neighborhood can attract significant volatility and selling pressure. That makes approximately the 2011 to 2012 important upside target. The bullish weekend path is therefore the 308 support to the 3085 breakout, the 309 confirmation, the 201 psychological test, and the 2011 to 2012 resistance. This is the roadmap, not guaranteed. The market owes us nothing. The toad cannot simply walk into the chart and demand a green candle. So let me know what you guys think about that. And while Turbo could re-enter the conversation, here's the bullish narrative. Turbo occupies the intersection of several categories: AI, artificial intelligence, meme coins, digital art, community-driven projects, and internet culture. Crypto narratives rotate. 1 month, the market wants real world assets. The next month, it wants AI agents. Then gaming wakes up. The meme coins return from the dead wearing sunglasses and carrying $1 billion in volume. Turbo does not need to dominate every category. It needs to become relevant in two major overlaps: AI and meme coin. If AI related crypto activity strengthen while the meme coins regain retail attention, Turbo has a story that content creators can explain quickly. However, the community must use the story correctly. Do not claim Turbo is building the world's most advanced artificial generated intelligence payment network unless there's evidence. Do not turn an original story into a fake utility. Turbo's authentic advantage is that its creation process was guided by AI before AI meme coins became overcrowded label. And that's interesting enough. The strongest promotional message is Turbo is the original AI generated meme coin experiment that grew into a decentralized global community. That message is memorable and defensible. So let's go to a couple videos. This is Bags Only. Let's see what he's talking about.
Drop a like on this video. Again, this channel covers crypto, stocks, in-depth breakdowns, bullish, bearish outlooks, how I'm feeling about specific cryptos and stocks specifically. Really trying to get back here on my upload grind. So again, please drop a like on this video. But today I wanted to cover a crypto meme coin specifically that I've talked about many times here on the channel, and that is Turbo token, ERC20 token. Again, nonetheless, you guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, entertainment purposes only. But yeah, let's get into it. Today we're talking about Turbo. Like I said, ticker is TURBO, one of the most unique meme coins in crypto space, in my opinion. And while the entire market has pulled back over the last 24 hours, and more specifically, really over the last year and a half, right? The crypto market and, coins like Turbo have not benefited at all, right? This is the last year for Turbo token. It's down 85%. If we look at the all-time chart for Turbo, we're talking about in December of 2024, Turbo was at 1 penny, a single penny, it is just down crazy amounts since then. Obviously, due to market conditions, political tensions, so many different reasons, right, for the crypto space to kind of be where it is today. But nonetheless, I think Turbo, and this is the same sort of narrative I've mentioned in previous videos when I've covered Turbo, is that I think it's a project to stay on your watch list. If obviously you're a holder, I think you're probably still holding. But especially if you do believe in Ethereum in the long run, or when we do see the next major bull run, I think Turbo's a great play, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice. That's just my opinion and my opinion only. But let's just talk first about the broader crypto market as a whole. We look at Ethereum sitting at around $1,800 right now currently. If we go to look at the whole market, Bitcoin has slipped back toward the low 60,000 range. Ethereum has also sold off. And like I said, overall market sentiment has shifted into, fear following macro uncertainty. Even with today's decline, institutional interest has still not disappeared. And we've continued to see investment into crypto infrastructure and positive ETF flow data, despite short-term volatility and things like that, showing that larger investors are still very, very much so engaged in the space. Fear and greed on CoinMarketCap sitting at 31, altcoin season 54 out of 100, global crypto market cap 2.17 trillion. But again, meme coins are never going to lead a bull market. They always follow it. So that's why I want to talk about Turbo here. So Turbo, obviously, if you're unfamiliar, obviously designed using ChatGPT. Creator famously, Rhett Mankind, challenged AI to build the next great meme coin with just $69 budget, and what started as an experiment eventually became a fully community-driven project. Great social accounts for Turbo. I think it's very, very the social accounts for Turbo are great, right? Very community-driven, very engaged. The contract has been renounced. There are no token taxes. The token now trades across more than 100 exchanges with all tokens already in circulation. They're all already in circulation. You see total supply, max supply, circulating supply, all very close to the same number. I think there's like a point something difference. I think it's like a 0.1 difference here. It's what you see. But again, all tokens are still in circulation. And that story alone, I think, separates Turbo from thousands and thousands of copycat meme coins. And again, the combination of AI plus memes created a narrative that I think is still unique even today for Turbo token. And it's why, I think many people are still holding it here with 67,000 holders, which, again, given the crypto market space, I think a lot of people understand that Turbo could still very much so be a winner when the market does recover. But I want to specifically talk about how, Turbo is tied to Ethereum, right? And how Ethereum kind of does or performs will generate and trickle down into Turbo. So Turbo is an ERC20 token, meaning it lives directly on the Ethereum blockchain. Again, why does that matter? Because the Ethereum performs well, liquidity typically flows throughout the entire Ethereum ecosystem. We've seen it happen in previous market cycles. Money, essentially, this is how, in its simplest form, if you look at Ethereum actually over the last year, we're looking at a down 46%. So Turbo over last year is down around 80, which makes sense that it would be drastically different because the market caps are so different. But basically how we've seen it and how the money rotates in previous cycles. Excuse me. Bitcoin rallies first, then Ethereum starts outperforming, then the large cap altcoins move, and then finally capital begins to flow into higher risk assets like meme coins, like Turbo. So if Ethereum does then enter a sustained uptrend, there's a very reasonable case that essentially that a quality Ethereum meme coins could benefit from increased speculative interest. That is a market pattern rather than a guarantee, but it's one reason traders keep names like Turbo in their portfolio and things like that. But to me, the biggest positive catalyst for Turbo, and this isn't just me making a video talking about Turbo is going to 10x, 20x from here. It's more so just an educated type of take on why there is why I'm still very much so a fan of Turbo. So it's the community, right? So unlike many other meme coins that rely on a centralized team constantly announcing partnerships, Turbo is really involved into a largely a community-driven ecosystem, right? Social engagement, organic marketing, community participation has become some of the biggest catalysts for the coin itself. And in meme coins, attention to meme coins essentially is more or matters more than the fundamentals, right? So we're seeing analysts continue to include Turbo on several 2026 meme coin watch lists. Recent market commentary has also highlighted Turbo as potential beneficiary if we do see altcoin season once again. That could potentially still develop, I think, later this cycle. Technical analysts are also watching for a possible breakout if broader crypto momentum improves overall, right? So again, none of this guarantees higher prices, but it shows the project continues to receive attention despite the market weakness as a whole, and just how, if you look at Turbo, right, over the last year, like I said, again, Turbo's market cap sitting at 57 million, which is crazy, which before it was, I think at its highest peak was like at 800 million. 57 million, and it's down 85% over the last year. We look at a coin like Pepe, which over the last year, let's go to this, is down 80% as well, right? And Pepe's had a 1.12 billion market cap, which if you look at something like that, it kind of just legitimizes the idea that Turbo is just a part of this market conditions, and there's really nothing we can do as a whole if you're holding Turbo. It's not the coin itself, it's the market conditions, which I think, goes hand in hand with any sort of stock or, asset digital asset, whatever that you're looking to purchase, right? The market plays a huge role in it, whether that stock is performing or crypto's performing well. But again, overall, I think if Bitcoin stabilizes and if Ethereum sees another major rally, if retail investors return, and again, we just see meme coin speculation heat back up, Turbo has all the characteristics that could work in its favor. Built on Ethereum, recognizable AI story, or origin narrative, fixed supply with all tokens in circulation, numerous exchanges, 100 plus exchanges already, and backed by a very, very active community rather than one central organization, right? So again, obviously still a ton of risks here. Turbo is a meme coin. It doesn't generate any revenue when you compare it to like stocks and things like that. Doesn't have traditional cash flows or business fundamentals. Price is driven pretty much heavily on sentiment, liquidity, and market psychology. If Ethereum struggles and Bitcoin goes lower, or if risk appetite disappears, Turbo can still remain extremely volatile. And that's simply the nature of this type of asset class, right? But if you look at the last month, I mean, it's just been so choppy over the last month. I think if we can even do the last year, I mean, it's kind of just been hovering around this like 0.001, 0.00083 range, more specifically over like the last couple, I don't know, 30 days or so, has dipped a little bit lower. But my personal takeaway is I don't necessarily think Turbo is a project you buy expecting slow, steady growth. It's obviously a high risk, high reward bet on the future of the Ethereum driven altcoin cycle. Again, if we don't enter another true crypto bull market, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So it's definitely a high risk play. I know some of you degens are deep into the meme coins, but for some reason, nobody's really tracking Turbo anymore. So we're trying to bring the Turbo token back. Let me see. Let's see what the crypto channel has to say. Then we'll go over to Crypto Now or Never. We talked about the 67,000. So yeah, let's go over to the crypto channel real quick. For some reason, all these volumes are down.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the crypto channel. I hope you're all doing well today. Doing a little bit of an update for you all on Turbo. Before we dive in, I would just like to thank the official partners of the crypto channel, WeX Exchange and Tangent Hardware Wallet. Links for both are available down in the description section on this video. So there is a little bit of a slight uptrend going on here for Turbo for the past 24 hours. Keep in mind, by the time this video launches, the price might vary a little bit slightly, so just keep that in mind. But from what we're looking at right now, currently towards the end of June, there is a little bit of an uptrend here on the past 24-hour view. Let's do it in market cap, make it a little bit easier. So we have a low of a $55.16 million market cap, and then we have a high of $61.26 million market cap. That is a clear, distinct uptrend going on. Looking at the 1 week view, it's down a little bit, 1.46%. We have a low of $53.02 million market cap, and then we have a high of 63, we'll say, million dollar market cap here. So downtrend that happened for the week, but as I said, it is back up again in the $60 million market cap range. Downtrend for the month, it's down 19.46%. We have a low of 52.75 million if you round it. So in the $52 million market cap range on the low, with a high of around $75.81 million market cap. And then for the year, we are down 74.83%. Clear, distinct downtrend going on. And then when we zoom out, we could go back to price here. When we zoom out, this is something that it's a similar pattern that we're seeing, I think, right now for a lot of different meme coins. Toshi looks a lot like this. So it is it's a pattern that we're seeing a lot right now for meme coins and prominent meme coins because we are in a bear market. The community sentiment on this, however, remains strong. 268.8K votes. 90% are bullish, 10% are bearish. And it's a mainstream kind of project. It's not a low cap meme. It's in new territory, or it's in mainstream territory. By newer territory, I mean like it's in a place where it can really attract new buyers. And the fact that it's on exchanges like Binance and Coinbase and Crypto.com and even Kraken, all those tier ones, is really important in my opinion because that those are the exchanges that the newbies are using. So newbies, normies, when new investors kind of come into a project or come into the crypto space for the first time, they're going to be using exchanges like Binance and Coinbase, Crypto.com, Kraken, those easy centralized exchanges, and they're going to be buying whatever meme coins are available to them on those exchanges. They're not going to be buying low cap memes on decentralized exchanges. They're going to be buying those mainstream projects, and Turbo is exactly that. So in a full-blown meme season and a bear market, those are all the ingredients, in my opinion, for a project to completely surge. So it's in a consolidation, but to me, it looks like it's just based on the chart pattern, it looks like it's forming to get ready for the next leg up. So I am excited for Turbo. I think it's going to do big things long term. I still hold my Turbo. If you hold Turbo, I would still, continue to hold it. Don't sell it. Just hold it and leave it alone. And because if you sold right now, you're going to be selling at a loss anyways. So why not just keep holding on to it? By holding on to it, you have a better chance of making money off of it than if you just sold now at a loss. So it's one of those things where I would just keep holding on to it and wait for that next leg up, that next big pump, because I do think there are many more pumps to come for this. So again, this is Turbo. I will keep you posted on this as I always do. Don't forget my monthly market report, Discord, and one-on-one coaching links are available down in the description section on this video if you're interested. And of course, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It is so, so appreciated. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks, guys.
So shout out to the crypto what is this? The crypto channel. This is Cade, and not a whole lot talking about Turbo. We'll play Cade real quick and I guess shut it down.
crypto now or never. Welcome back to another Turbo update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. What I want.
Okay, so just hopping straight into Turbo and DEX tools, not a whole lot has changed still since my last couple of videos. It just seems like at this point, Turbo is ranging between 58 million to like 62 million. If you look at Turbo right now, it's at 59.1 million. And simply from a price action standpoint, you could argue that we are forming a very similar structure to Bitcoin. You could argue that this is potentially an inverted head and shoulder pattern. You could argue that this is the left shoulder, this would be the head, and this would be the right shoulder. Just to show you guys what I'm talking about, I'll show you guys Bitcoin on the daily time frame as well. I've been pointing this out a lot recently. You can argue left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. And for Bitcoin specifically, it has bounced multiple times off the 21-day moving average, and we have not lost this level. This right here is a good sign. The only thing that I don't like right now is that the stochastics are very overbought. So I do think the structure looks very good, but there are a couple indicators that don't look as good. But the reason that this is important is because a lot of the time head and shoulder patterns are extremely bearish. However, inverted head and shoulder patterns can be extremely bullish. And it is very common for us to see when Bitcoin and Ethereum have nice moves, we often see Turbo have a nice move as well. That's not something that's unheard of in the market. It happens all the time. And a lot of the time we see Turbo actually move significantly more than Bitcoin or Ethereum, but that obviously does work to the downside as well. But you look at CoinMarketCap right now, you can see that Bitcoin and Ethereum are getting decent moves. Bitcoin is up to 64,500. It's up about 4% in the last day. If you look at Ethereum, it's about 1,873, and it's up about 6% in the last day. If we come over here and we look at meme coins, though, you can see that Turbo is still pretty low in the rankings. Turbo is currently the 342nd largest crypto, and it's only up about 2.3% in the last day, and it's actually down 1.8% in the last week. And from a volume standpoint, I'm going to continue saying what I've been saying. It's in line with everything that it should be in line with. 8.72 million. Look at the projects right above it. 1.4, 8.1, 7 million, 11K, 37 mil, 1.1 mil. It's not like Turbo has terrible volume, but it's also not elite volume right now. But we do know that Turbo is capable of having huge volume spikes. It was not that long ago that Turbo actually had a very nice move, and it actually spiked higher volume than Pepe. That right there shows you the kind of potential that this project has. Now, whenever you look at the Turbo exchanges, HTX is still leading the charge with the most volume by far. HTX has over 25.8% of the volume. And if you compare that to Binance, both Binance pairs are just over 5% combined. But we have seen in the past when Turbo has its huge moves, a lot of the time it's a massive volume spike on Binance. So that's kind of what we're looking at from a fundamental standpoint. From a volume to market cap ratio, it's about 14.92%, just under 15%. Overall, this is still pretty decent volume. During a bear market, the level I like to look for is about 10% if this is your guys' first time watching one of my videos. 10% shows that there's still decent interest around a project. Volume is obviously not going to be near as high during a bear market as the overall sentiment is just much lower. But over 10% still shows that people are interested. Now, if we come over here and we take a look at the Turbo X account, they're at just under 110K followers, and they posted 5 hours ago, "Hey Turbo fam, can Toad get a fist bump?" And then 11 hours ago, "Some mornings require a literal space helmet to survive." And this right here is a post that I think is just very fun, and it's a life lesson in general. The reality is that there are always going to be bad days in this space. There are always going to be good days in this space. It does seem like recently we've had a lot more bad days than good days, but that's how cycles work. Eventually, we're going to get back to the point where projects are just exploding. Now, does that mean Turbo will be one of them? No, it does not. All of these projects are going to have some sort of catalyst to turn things around again. Yes, a lot of the stronger projects will move with Bitcoin and Ethereum, but a catalyst will be required for most. A lot of people think that every microcap that they hold is going to recover. That's just not the reality. I want to be clear on that. Most projects in this space will die. That's just how things operate. So during these times, it's very important to make sure that you have a strong community, have a strong foundation. Do I personally believe that Turbo has that? Yes, I do. And what I like so much about Turbo is what I talked about earlier. Every single time that we see Bitcoin and Ethereum actually have a strong move, Turbo has a strong move as well. And a lot of the time, it'll be like Bitcoin and Ethereum pumping up 20 to 30%, and we see Turbo break out 70%, 80%. So I definitely think that this project is still in a good position for the next bull run. But obviously, you guys are going to have to monitor it and make your own decisions. But that's about all I have for you guys today. As always, if you guys are interested in future updates just like this and getting into projects super early in general, then I always recommend taking a look at my Discord. I actually just gave a microcap buy alert earlier this morning. So if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. I'd love to have you guys in here with us. That's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about Turbo. If you enjoyed this
So shout out to Cade. Actually, crypto now or never. But let's see here. I guess we'll close the live early. Let's see here. So as we wind it up, let me look at something real quick. So this is community engagement sediment. Let us take a community roll call. Question 1: what was your first turbo purchase price? Post it in the chat. No embarrassment. This is judgment free pond. Some people bought early, some people bought late, some people bought at the top. So perfectly that the exchange could have mailed them a trophy. Now, question number 2: what is your realistic turbo target? Choose one. The 001, 003, 005, 010. Previous all-time high regions. Long-term hold with fixed targets. What does the turbo community need most? More content creators, more listings, more social engagement, more art and memes, more transparency, more real world integrations, better holder education. Should BTM host a weekly turbo live stream? Type weekly. If you get enough serious participation, this can become a reoccurring event. Question number 5: who should join us for the future turbo interview? Do not simply write somebody important. That's funny. Give us a name, account, artist, builder, or community organizer. We want to highlight the people doing the real work. So for the weekend checklist, here's the official BTM weekend checklist. Take a screenshot. Bullish evidence. Price remains above the 3080. Turbo closes above the 3085. Volume rises with price. The 3090 becomes support after a breakout. Bitcoin remains stable and strengthens. Social activity expands without relying on false rumors. Price avoids a intermediate breakout interjection. Price remains between the 0080 and the 3085. Volume remains average. Bitcoin trades sideways. Turbo continues validating. Neutral does not mean bad. Consolidation can allow a market to build energy, but it also does not guarantee the eventual move will be upwards. The bearish price loses the 3080. Sell volume expands. The breakout above the 3085 immediately fails. Bitcoin weakens sharply. Turbo falls to the 3077 or lower. So those are the scenarios. Bullish scenario holds the 308, reclaims 3085, breaks the 309, and tests the 201. Strong bull closes above the 201, increasing volume, and becomes challenging the 2011 to 2012. The sideways scenario continuing between approximately 308 and 3087. The bear scenario loses the 308 and tests approximately the 3077, the 3074, and the 3070. These are scenarios, not promises. Wait for confirmation. Do not chase a giant candle because somebody on social media posted a picture of a toad driving a Lambo. Turbo family Here is the final message. Turbo is still alive. It has an active market. It still has millions of dollars in daily volume. It still has tens of thousands of visible Ethereum holding addresses. It has one of the most memorable creations and story of crypto. It has community that believes the story is not finished, but believe must be paired with discipline. The current 0.083 region is a test, not a confirmation moon mission. The Bulls will defend the 308. They will reclaim approximately 3085. They need to challenge the 3090. And they need real volume if they want to test 201 and beyond. That is the truth, not a financial fairy tale. No fake BlackRock purchase, no secret government adoption, no promise that one tweet will produce 100 times return. We have a recognizable project, an active community, historically powerful narrative, and a chart sitting near an important decision area. This is not enough reason to pay attention. Before you leave, hit the like, subscribe to the BTM Crypto News Network, turn on notifications, share this live stream with one Turbo holder, then comment, the king of Turbo has returned. Before old school Turbo movements coming back, this time we're bringing energy, we're bringing facts, we're bringing entertainment, and importantly, we're bringing receipts. I am BTM. This is the BTM Crypto News Network. Do your own research, protect your capital, and never invest money you can't afford to lose. And remember, in crypto, the loudest person is not always the smartest. Sometimes he owns a better microphone. Turbo family, I see you on the next one. So remember, guys, stay dangerous. What up, Silver Days? Stay dangerous and continue to do your research. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miners out.